So in the last few days, there have been stories about certain businesses deciding to no longer do special discounts for the NRA members who frequent their establishments and or use their products, and so on and so on. And something interesting has come out of this, because I have suddenly discovered a bunch of people who were previously in favor of the invisible hand of the free market and voting with your wallet and all that other fun stuff that capitalism is supposed to be in favor of, suddenly decide that this is discrimination and it's a bad thing. It's one of the great things about these social media plugins, because if you follow the same news sources or even the same people long enough, you can track comments because the same people will show up in the comments. You'll start to notice them and get a feel for their positions and whether or not they're consistent. And so I'm now watching a bunch of people who had previously been all invisible hand of the free market decide that the free market is wrong, that these businesses who apparently had the right up until now to decide to not do business with certain parties can no longer decide to not do business with certain parties. Now, I do want to make a distinction here, because if these people want to not give a certain business their money because they think that the NRA should get a special discount, I honestly couldn't give a fuck. To be honest, if that's how you want to determine where your money's going, go for it. But that's different from claiming that this is discrimination and they shouldn't be allowed to do it or similar things. And the interesting thing is that, again, these are some of the same people that I'm seeing who were in favor of the Sweet Cakes Bakery, who didn't even get a lawsuit based on allegations of not baking a gay wedding cake. The couple in question went to another bakery. No, what they got accused of was then doxing and harassing the couple involved. So the sweet cake suit was never really about the free market anyway, because the couple did just do exactly what people were telling them to do and go to another bakery. It was the allegations of the bakery going beyond this that were what spurred the lawsuit that drew so much attention. But it's interesting, even still, watching people whose attitude towards that was vote with your wallet suddenly decide that voting with your wallet is a bad thing now that it's no longer advantageous to them. And in American politics, at the very least, you hear this a lot. You see people who are pro-firearms until black people or Muslims are carrying them. I mean, Ronald Reagan decided to start firearm legislation after the Black Panthers decided to use their constitutional right to bear arms, and suddenly it wasn't fun anymore. You see people who are pro-free speech right up until somebody says something that they don't like. And yes, that cuts both ways before anyone goes, her, like the left. You see people who are pro-freedom of religion right up until a Muslim wants to exercise that same freedom. Then we suddenly want to have a debate over whether or not they should have any rights. I mean, the Satanic Temple has gone out of their way to use this to their advantage, and it's pissed off a ton of people when they actually win religious freedom arguments based on the fact that they're a group that isn't, quote-unquote, us. And again, if you don't want to patronize these businesses, that's your right. It's your money. You can do with it as you please. But the argument has been that suddenly this is discrimination, and suddenly discrimination is bad and shouldn't be allowed from businesses. And considering that the people I'm talking about specifically are the ones who have been all, well, it's okay for a business to discriminate because free market, then that's a problem. And if it doesn't apply to you, then I'm not talking to or about you. I just want the people who have been so free market for so long to pick a side. Is it discrimination? Is discrimination bad? Is that something that maybe government should stop? Or is the free market valid even when it doesn't suit you? Pick one. Thanks for listening. I'm Earth, out.